Hi everybody, ciao a tutti, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about reflexive verbs, or verbs that in Italian we call I riflessivi, and also what we call I verbi reciproci. I will give you a quick explanation of these verbs, lots of examples, and then as always I suggest that you do some self-studying with some exercises, and I suggest that you purchase this book. You will find the Amazon affiliation link under this video, and at page 61 you have a little bit more examples, and right after that you have lots of exercises. It's great for self-study because you do have the answers at the back of the book. So if you don't have time to find a tutor that can help you, you can use my videos plus this grammar book to help you understand all of the different aspects of the Italian grammar. This book goes from an A1 elementary level to a B2, so upper intermediate level. So I highly suggest that you use this as reference. Okay, let's get back to our wonderful little verbs. So what are a reflexive verb? I verbi riflessivi. Those verbs are the ones that you use to talk about an action that you actually do upon yourself. For example, if I say mi alzo, I'm saying I'm standing up. Nobody's going to do that action for me. It's something that I do with my own personal body. I stand up by myself, right? Once again, if I say mi lavo I denti, I brush my teeth. Also in this case, I'm brushing my own teeth. Mi lavo I capelli. Once again, I'm washing my hair. I'm doing something upon myself personally. These are the reflexive verbs. And with the reflexive verbs, as you have probably noticed in those couple of examples, you will need to use reflexive pronouns like mi, ti, si, ci, vi, si. Let's look at a couple of sentences that have reflexive verbs on them so that you see a full, real sentence. Alessia si sente male oggi. This means Alessia is not feeling well today. Obviously, the action of feeling bad is something that you personally know yourself. So it's something that reflects on yourself. So the verb here is sentirsi, and it's conjugated si sente, where you have si as your reflexive pronoun. A very, very common one that you are probably already using is the verb chiamarsi. Chiamarsi is a reflexive verb. Look at this question. Come ti chiami? The action of calling oneself means that you're telling a person your name, and it's something that you can do. In this case, you have ti chiami. Okay, you're using once again the reflexive pronoun. In this case, ti, because you're referring to the second person singular. Then, a little something extra. At the beginning of the video, I told you about what we call verbi reciproci. These verbs are the ones that are used to talk about actions that are carried out between two or more people. The form of these verbs is exactly the same as the reflexive verbs. They just have a little bit of a change in the name just to complicate things up and to let you know that reciproco means one with the other, okay? That we both do something. Let's look at this example and things are going to be a lot more clear. Marta e Carlo si vedono questo sabato. You have Marta and you have Carlo. They will see each other. So you see that the action is not simply on one person, but it reflects two people. Piero e Claudia si sposano a maggio. This is an action that is carried out on both of them. Piero is marrying Claudia. Claudia is marrying Piero. So it's a reciprocal action. Take note that almost all of the Italian verbs can have a reflexive form or a reciprocal form. So they can be verbi riflessivi or verbi reciproci. As you have seen in the examples, the reflexive pronoun goes before the verb. Okay, so this happens most of the time, but it doesn't happen when you have specific verbs. Verbs that we call verbi modali and verbi fraseologici. When you have one of these verbs followed by an infinitive, then you have two options. You can either use the reflexive pronoun before the verb, or you can join the pronoun together with the infinitive. So it goes at the end of the infinitive verb. Let me show you a list of all of these verbs and also an example to make this more clear. I verbi modali, potere, volere, dovere, sapere, and what we call verbi fraseologici. Cominciare a, stare per, stare più gerundio, finire di. So when you have one of these, you can choose. And you can write sentences like this. Domani mi devo alzare presto. So you have devo, which is your modal verb. You're using the reflexive pronoun mi, and in this case, you're putting it before the verb. Mi devo alzare. But the other option, which is completely fine, can be domani devo alzarmi presto. The sentence doesn't change. You still have your modal verb dovere, but in this case, your mi, which is your reflexive pronoun, will be added at the end of the infinitive verb. Alzarmi. I will give you a little list of the verbs that are reflexive or reciprocal, okay, the common ones, like chiamarsi, alzarsi, abbracciarsi, lavarsi, truccarsi, preoccuparsi, lamentarsi, amarsi, svegliarsi, sposarsi. Continue this list for me. Name a couple of extra reflexive verbs that you know and that you use. Write them in the comments below. Share them with the rest of us. Okay? So this is it for today. Remember that you can always add exercises by purchasing that book, and I will see you next week. Un bacio.